So here is the third example. Again, I would want you to do it simultaneously. This is the question. Your RT is given by sine e to the power t I, cos e to the power t j, and root 3 e to the power t k. Okay, then you have to show, find the arc length parameterization. Okay, so I'll ask Shravan to tell me how to find or proceed further.
Differentiate RT.
Yes, R dash T, what is that? The derivative.
It's sine t, sine t et plus cos t t bracket I
Sine.
plus
Why would T come into picture?
sorry, I think I misread the question. I will have to
Sine of to the power T. Okay, that is the expression.
minus sine
Yes, what is the derivative?
Ma'am,
e to the power t cos e to the power t
Okay, and second.
I minus sine e to the power t into e to the power t j plus root 3 to the power t k.
Okay, so that is the derivative, and then you find the arc length S. So you will take the I component square plus j component square plus k component square, and then take the square root, and then integrate. Okay, so tell me what is the final value after integrating. S is equal.
मैम t equal to u पहले लेट करेंगे
You will have to replace T by U because otherwise you will have the same T being used in two places. Okay. Replace T by U. Okay, Shravan, you tell me what the final
2
answer
e to the
is.
power t minus 2.
2 e to the power T minus 2. Okay, that is equal to
S.
S. Okay. So I'll just display it for everybody. Your T naught is 0 because it is already there in the question. So you will take it as 0. This is the derivative. You can see that. And I think there's a minus sign here. Let's check this. I think I have not missed the sign part. Okay. Something minus. Okay, and then you have this. So the norm of dr by du would be the square plus. So if you want, you can just put a minus sign here, but that is not going to change the answer. So you have 4e power 2u or eu square, whatever you want, you can use that. And so it is 2e to the power u. And so s is equal to 2e to the power t minus 2. Okay. So anyone has any doubts till here? Now, if we want, we could have replaced t in terms of u, we could have written t in terms of u by taking some log on both sides, and then you can write t in terms of s. But as such, in our expression of rt, we do not have t occurring anywhere. So we just have the expression in t is e to the power t throughout. So there is no need to get the direct value of t in terms of s. So if you only have e power t, that is sufficient, because this is the only term in t which is occurring in the expression for rt. Okay, so there is no requirement of finding the inverse. You can only use or take this particular relation and substitute it here to get the arc length parameterization. So this is how you can parameterize using arc length. Okay, so sine of e to the power t, replace it by s plus 2 by 2. Then again cos of e to the power t, which you replace by s plus 2 by 2, and root 3 into e to the power t, which is again s plus 2 by 2. Okay, so that is the arc length parameterization of this curve RT. Okay, so you can also write this as RS, or you can say parameterize in terms of S, R is equal to this expression. Is this fine? This curve, the parameter S has the same direction as the orientation of the curve. So we don't have to worry. The increasing direction of T will be the same as increasing direction for S. So you will take, since you start from 0, so and T is always positive, so your S is also going to be positive, because they have to be behaving in the same manner. Okay. Is it fine, this example?
And we have to not show the smoothness of the curve, like
Smoothness, we are not checking in these questions. We assume them to be smooth and then we proceed. Obviously, prerequisite is there that they have to be smooth. Only then this particular definition is valid. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that completes this section. Now, in this section, if you refer to your Anton's book, you will find that there is also some portion where instead of using arc length as the parameter, there is a general technique to change the parameter from t to any other parameter whose relation is given in terms of t. So, if the relation is given to us, then we can use that relation, or if some calculation is to be done, we can do that, and then we can now replace t in terms of any other parameter. Okay, so that parameter could be the arc length for this case, or it could be anything else. So in general, if you want to change the parameter from t to anything else, how to do that? So you would find, I think, 1 or 2 questions based on that. But since your syllabus doesn't mention anything of that sort, your syllabus in the first page of your syllabus or second page also, you can see you just have the topic arc length, which is there. So that is to calculate arc length, and the second thing is arc length parameterization. So only this particular type of parameterization is to be done according to the syllabus. So as such, specifically, it is not saying change the parameter or change of parameter. Such a topic is not mentioned in your syllabus. So that is why, for the time being, I'm not going to take it up right now. No questions have been asked also in the past year papers which are available to us. You can also check that. And syllabus also doesn't mention. So I will not take that part right now. Later, if there is time left, and if somebody feels or if somebody is interested in learning that part, then I can take that up. Okay, so as such, you may consider it to be not a part of your syllabus, but still, if you want, officially, actually, the whole section is there. So the entire section is mentioned in your syllabus. There is nothing deleted from there. But if you look at the lines given in the syllabus, it doesn't mention anywhere change of parameter. That topic is not there. So I'm not going to take up that. Okay. So if you want me to discuss it, maybe I can discuss it in the tunes, or we can do it in a class later on once we complete the syllabus. We can take up certain topics which you feel are to be done. They are in the book. in Anton's book you will find it. In Tukralsa's book it is not mentioned. So because Sir's book is precisely according to the syllabus, so that is why. Okay. But again, that depends. If the topic is mentioned in the syllabus, then I mean, we should do it. So here it is not mentioned. Okay. So if you refer to Anton's book, you will find some additional type of questions also given in the same section, 12.3. So now I'll move on to the next section, which is 12.4. In this section, you will have these particular terms. One is unit tangent, how to find unit normal, then binormal vectors. Okay, so we'll see the formulae or the relationship or the expressions for these three types of vectors. Okay, so first we'll define the unit tangent vector. So you all must be remembering how to define tangent vector. Tangent vector is r dash t, and if we have to find the unit tangent vector, it is r dash t divided by norm of that r dash t. So that is how we define a unit tangent vector. So this is, I don't think it is new for you. You have already been using it. So if you have a vector valued function given by rt and in either 2 space or 3 space, then r dash t is the tangent vector to the curve and in points in the direction of the increasing parameter. And if we want to find a unit tangent vector, we normalize it. That means we divide it by its norm, and this is the notation which we use for denoting the unit tangent vector to C at a specific t. So whatever t is given to you, say at t equals to 0, if you have to find unit tangent vector, so what you do is find out r dash, find out its norm, put t equals to 0 and substitute in the expression. So whatever values you get of r dash and r dash, norm of r dash, for t equals to 0, you will just substitute them here and the ratio will give you the unit tangent vector. Okay. So this is nothing new. You just have to divide the tangent vector by its norm. Okay, so quickly do this question and tell me the unit tangent vector at t equals to 1. So the point is given to you. You may directly find the value of r dash and norm of r dash at t equals to 1, or you may first find the unit tangent vector in terms of t and then in the end put t as 1. So you may proceed in either ways. Okay, so Sachin is going to answer this question. What is the value or the unit tangent vector? Sachin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Unit vector is 2 by root 5 phi cap plus 1 by root 5 j cap.
Okay. So firstly, what is r dash?
R dash is 2t I cap plus j cap.
Okay. And then norm of r dash?
Root of 4t square plus 1.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sachin. So I'll just give it for everybody. R dash 2ti plus j, and our norm of r dash is root of 4t square. So you just take the components and take their squares. So you get this. So as I said, you can start from the very beginning itself. You can put t equals to 1 throughout and find these values, or you can keep it in terms of t till the end. In the end, then put back t equals to 1. Okay, so whichever way you want to proceed, you can do. So then you have to take this ratio r dash divided by norm of r dash to get the unit vector. And then when you put t equals to 1, you will get the numerator is 2i plus j, denominator will be root of 4 plus 1, which is root of 5. So you get this expression. Okay, 2i plus j by root of 5. Anyone has any doubts in this? think it is pretty simple. Okay, there's another question which I have. Yes, whoever does it, just let me know. Raise your hand and then I'll ask you. These are questions from the exercise. You can also see the solved examples which are given in the book. So I have taken the exercise questions. Nobody has completed it. Keshav, have you done it? Yes, Keshav.
Yeah, ma'am, present.
Okay, so what is the dr by dt in this case? Unit tangent vector.
Ma'am, dr by dt will be, ma'am, et cos t plus et minus et sin t.
Okay, that is the
I
I.
cap.
Okay, then J.
J cap will be et sin t plus et cos t.
Okay.
And k cap will be et.
And what will be norm of this vector?
Norm of this vector will be root and square of all this.
Yes. So what that be? Just tell me the answer for that.
Actually, ma'am, I have to do it on paper pen.
Do it. I'm waiting. You should always have a paper pen ready with you when I'm taking so many questions. Just
Actually,
when
ma'am, I am not at home.
Okay. Okay. Ayush, what is the norm?
Ma'am, e to the power t root 3.
E to the power t root 3. Okay. So e to the power r dash t is this. So as Keshav had said, and then you find the norm. So you take the square of individual components. So from the first term, you will get e to the power 2t. You can take that out common, and then you'll get cos square plus sine square minus 2 cos into sine. And the second term, when you are going to expand, you will again get sine square plus cos square plus 2 sine into cos. So that plus 2 and minus 2 are going to cancel out, and you will be left with e to the power 2t from here and another e to the power 2t from this. So three terms of e to the power 2t you are going to get. So when you take the square root, you get e to the power t into root 3. So therefore your unit tangent vector is going to have this expression. Okay, so is this fine for everybody till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and then when you have to find it at t equals to 0, then you put the value of t as 0 throughout. So again, you could have done it in the beginning itself. Put t equals to 0 in r dash, find the norm with t equals to 0. So you would have got root 3 and then just take the ratio. So now here if I put t equals to 0,
I j k I plus j plus k by under root 3.
yes. So your first expression component of I, when you put t equals to 0, this part vanishes and the first part gives you 1. And then here when you put t0, this part will become 0. You will be getting only 1 again. And along with k, you have no term in t so it is just k, and norm of r dash. So from this, put t equals to 0 here, so you get the norm as root 3. So that is your unit tangent vector. Okay, r dash t divided by norm of r dash. Is it fine with everyone? Anyone having any doubts in this question?
No.
Okay, so I'll move to the next topic, which is finding unit normal vectors. Now, the unit tangent vector, so as obviously the name is and the way we have constructed, so unit vector means that it will have a constant norm, or the norm magnitude will be 1. So if you recall this result which we had shown earlier, that whenever you have a vector whose norm is constant, then the dot of that vector with its derivative is going to be 0. Okay, we have established this result earlier, that if you have a vector with a constant magnitude, then its dot with its derivative is going to be 0. So if the vector and its derivative is going to have a dot product 0, that means these two are orthogonal to each other. So because this is the tangent vector, and by definition normal vector is going to be perpendicular to the tangent vector, so we can use this particular expression for finding the normal vector. Okay, so this implies that t dash is the perpendicular to the tangent line, and therefore we say it is the normal to the curve at that point t. Okay, so at any particular t, if you can find t dash t, then this will be perpendicular to tt, which means this is going to give you the normal vector. And unit normal, again, how do you find it? Divide the vector by its own magnitude, so you get the unit normal vector. But that is only possible provided this is not 0, or you can normalize. Okay, so your norm should not become 0. So then this is how we define the unit normal vector. This is called the principal unit normal vector, or simply the unit normal vector. And this is defined only for points where this should be norm of t dash t. Okay, it is defined for points where the norm is not 0. So only for those points on the curve you can define unit normal, otherwise you can just define a normal vector. Okay. So principal unit normal or unit normal, they mean the same and their direction is the same direction as t dash. Okay, then you would call this as the unit normal vector. Actually, the term principal unit normal is used because whenever we have a curve, say in 2 space, and we make a tangent vector, we can have 2 vectors that are perpendicular to this tangent vector. So one in this direction and one in the other direction. So these are both these vectors are orthogonal to this tangent vector, but we would call only the one which is the unit normal, or the principal unit normal, which is pointing in the same direction as t dash. So if we find the vector t dash t by differentiating this t, when we find this t dash t, whatever is the direction of t dash, in that direction when we take the orthogonal vector, we call it the principal unit normal. If we take the unit vector, then it is principal unit normal, or we can also call it the principal normal if we are not dividing by the magnitude. Okay. In the same way, whenever you have a curve in 3 space, you can have many or infinitely many directions for a vector which will be orthogonal to this tangent vector. Okay, so orthogonal to any line or perpendicular to any line in 3 space, you can have infinitely many lines. Okay, so how to find the unit normal vector is you find what is t dash t, and obviously t dash t will have a unique direction. That direction is going to give you the direction of the principal unit normal vector. Okay, so although you're not required to specifically check this or find this out, you will automatically be getting it from the formula that nt is t dash t divided by norm of t dash. But this is just for your understanding that you can have many more than one vectors which are orthogonal to the tangent vector. So which one to take will depend on the direction of t dash. So wherever t dash is directed, that will be the same direction for the normal. Okay, so this is just for your understanding. You won't have to do anything about this, the direction part, because you just have to solve the questions algebraically. So the direction will automatically follow. If you are given a specific t, obviously you can find out what is t dash t, and that will be the direction of the normal vector. Okay. So this is the same question. Now you have to find the unit normal vector to this. Okay, so Ritti, can you tell how to solve this? Harsh Gupta. Are you listening, Harsh? Okay, who can do this? Just raise your hand. Tushar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How do you find the unit normal?
Yeah, ma'am, we know the t of t from the previous question, I plus j plus k by root 3.
Okay. Then,
We'll differentiate that.
so how would you differentiate I plus j plus k? I mean, it will be 0. There is no t there. Once you've substituted t as 0 or whatever value, you cannot use that expression. You have to take the expression of t, which is in terms of t, capital T, which has the parameter t in it. Okay. So t was capital T, the unit tangent vector, was given by this in terms of t. So you will have to use this expression and not the final one where you have already substituted t equals to 0, because then your derivative will also be 0. Okay, so you will use this. Then you are going to find out t dash t and its norm. Okay. So t dash t will be, just differentiate this, denominator remains root 3. So derivative of cos, you will get minus sign, then you'll have a minus cos here, and then this one will be derivative of sine will be cos, and cos will be minus sine. So you get this expression, and the norm of t dash. So this root 3 can be taken out, and you can just find the norm. So till here, has everybody understood? Just check the calculation part. Norm of t dash, is it fine? Root 2 by root 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So your unit normal in terms of t will be this. Then when you have to put t as 0, you get the specific unit normal. So here it will not be a good idea to put t as 0. you will have to use the expression in terms of t first, and then in the end you will have to put t equals to 0. So usually in questions you will be getting the same question and you have to find the unit tangent and unit normal both to the given vector. So in that case, it is always better that you find t, the unit tangent, in terms of the parameter t, and then substitute t as 0 to get the answer. Then because you have to use it for unit normal. So for calculating normal, you will have to differentiate it with respect to t. So this expression will be used for calculating the normal vector, and then you find the unit normal. So after you have found this out, in the end only you put the value of t as 0 and you will get the unit normal vector. Is this okay with everyone?
Ma'am, means the numerator has r double dash t, isn't it? That,
Yes. Yes, it
okay.
comes. It has this second derivative.
Okay, okay.
Okay, is it fine? So I'm not going to take up much. In case you have any doubts, just ask. Okay, so just one more point which I wanted to discuss. I'll take up questions maybe next time. So if you have a curve which is parameterized by arc length. So if your curve, the components of the curve or the parameter used is arc length, then in that case, how to find the unit tangent and the unit normal? So in that case, you can see this. So I'll just mention the result later on. But if you want, you can check it for some questions which we have already done. That norm of r dash will be equal to 1. Okay, this part you can just check. So if that norm is 1, then t of s for the unit tangent using the parameter s will be r dash of s. So in the questions where your r is in terms of s already, okay, so r is no longer in terms of t, r is given in terms of s. So for such questions, if you have to find the unit tangent vector, then the expression is t of s is equal to r dash s. And then for a particular s, if you have to find, just put that value and you will get. And so the formula for unit normal. So unit normal vector is derivative of t dash. So that will be second derivative of r. So r double dash divided by its norm. So norm of r double dash s. So these are the expressions for unit tangent and unit normal vectors. In case your curve RT or the curve C is in terms of S now, instead of the parameter T, you have the parameter S, which is the arc length. So in that case, this is the change in the formula. Okay, for any other parameter, may be time or angle or anything else, you will use the other expressions which we have seen, and for arc length you will use this particular expression. Automatically your denominator will become 1 because you can check that this norm is equal to 1. So even if you forget the formula, no need to get worried, because this will automatically give you r dash. The denominator is anyways 1, so there will be nothing here. And when you differentiate this, divide by its norm, you are going to get this expression. So even if you forget this part, you know that the normal vector is derivative of tangent vector, and unit normal will be derivative of tangent divided by its norm. So you will ultimately get the same expression. But if you can remember, then directly also you can write it like this. Okay. So that is all I had to tell today. Any doubts in this part?
Norm of r dash s will always be equal to 1.
Yes, when you represent in the arc length parameterization format, it will always be 1. Okay, norm is the length part. So when you're using the arc length as your parameter, it will always give you 1. If you want, we can see although the proof of this is not required, but maybe we can check it for a few questions and see. Okay. So that's a standard theorem or a result which has been applied here. So maybe I can discuss with some questions. Okay. So I'm not going to take the question today, only this much I'm going to teach. Anyone wants to ask anything? Okay.
I mean, the last question in the assignment, do we have to plot the graph as well?
Just a minute.